We're live, week 3. Hey everyone, is anyone watching? Opening up the comments to see if we are broadcasting live and who is there. My name is Becky. Maybe you remember me from last week. Tonight we have some adorable, stinkin' cute, black and white little guys. We'll talk about them in a second. So I'm Becky. I was here with you last week. Tonight we also have Melanie. She is in the chat, popping some information in there right now. Say hello to her if you're already watching. Melanie is one of our wildlife rehabilitators. We also have this evening the fantastic Brianne. Brianne was doing the chat last week. She's going to be going into the enclosure with us this evening. She's also a fantastic wildlife rehabilitator. So let's get to it. What are we doing tonight? We are fundraising $30,000. That's our goal for this year. It costs us about $10,000 a month just to feed and medicate our patients that we have in the summer. So it's a lot of money. So starting right now, the first 10 donors of $25 or more that donate via the dedicated donation link that Mel will be popping into the chat below until 9 p.m. tonight, you will receive a special thank you gift sent to you in the mail. On top of that, the top 3 donors of the whole month that again donate via that dedicated donation link in the chat below will be sent an extra special gift in the mail. What else? We have a 50-50 happening right now. Last I checked, I think it was about $3,700. So we have 1 week left. Tickets go on sale or are on sale until next Wednesday night at midnight. So you still have 1 week to get your tickets. Tell your friends, tell your family. The more you buy, the better. We get more of the pot, and of course, whoever wins gets more of the pot. Yeah, I'm trying to see who's saying hello in the chat, but you guys are everyone. It's too fast. I can't keep up. So I think Mel will be saying hi, no problem. Let's get right to it. We are looking at skunks. We have a lot of skunks. We have 42 skunks in our care this year. So to tell you a little bit about those fantastic skunks is one of our wonderful wildlife rehabbers. Her name is Brianne, and I'm going to be flipping you over and let us say hello, good evening to Brianne. Hey Brianne, how's it going?
It's going great. I'm so happy to see you all tuning in, and I'm just so happy that everyone's here to learn more about the wild animals that we have here in Alberta and here in Calgary, and we're just so happy to have you join us.
There are so many people in the chat saying hello, and I wish I could keep up, but it's too many people are saying hi, so there's loads of people. So thanks everyone for joining us, and thanks for doing this, Brianne. So like I said, we have 42 in our care right now?
We do have 42 skunks right now.
And that seems like a lot. Is this a normal number that we would normally have at this time of year?
It's slightly elevated. So normally, in the past few years, we've seen skunks admitted throughout the summer. So normally we see a cap out about 30 skunks at any given time in care. So to have 42 right now in care, it's definitely elevated compared to previous years.
Any idea why that might be? Why there might be so many more this year?
It very well could be that education's getting out that wildlife rehab centers are here to help any orphaned or injured wildlife. So more people are learning about the Calgary Wildlife Rehabilitation Society and just knowing that we exist to help those skunk kits, and that we will be able to raise them and release them and give them that second chance that they do need.
That's awesome. Okay, so some people don't like skunks. I love skunks. They're adorable. They're so cute. But I know that, some people, they don't love them. I'd love to give some people some information, our viewers some information about, why it's good to have neighbors that are skunks.
So skunks are actually fantastic neighbors. They help out with pest control and actually form an extraordinarily important part of the ecosystem. So skunks will go through your garden and they will get rid of any of those insects and grubs that might be destroying your lawn or your plants. They hunt mice, so they will help protect your property and your house by keeping those pests at bay. They'll also forage for any garbage that might be laying around and eat any decaying fruit that might be in your yard. So they really just help keep our neighborhoods clean.
Yeah, I have that exact story. We had skunks in our community, and then they moved out, they moved on, and suddenly the mice came. Lots and lots of mice. So yeah, that's one of the reasons, of course, I love skunks, but they are very adorable. Okay, the final question before we head in. When we have them in our care, what types of things do we feed them?
So skunks, of course, are omnivores as well as scavengers. So they eat a wide variety of foods out in the wild, and we do try to mimic that naturally here in care. So if we do admit an infant skunk, of course, we will feed a highly specialized milk formula, appropriate for the natural milk composition that we would see in the wild. However, the skunks we have in care currently are a little bit older, so they have been fully weaned. In order to mimic their natural diet, we do offer a variety of proteins as well as a variety of fruit and vegetables to provide a well-balanced, nutritious diet for them.
That is fantastic. So I'm just going to flip over and back to me. Dar, ooh, hello. Dar just said she loves skunks. I love skunks too, Dar. Thank you. Hey, Robin, I see that you're watching. Finally, I think I've got that the chat thing figured out. So we're going to be heading in. What that means is, again, we're going to be quiet. This is standard protocol in wildlife rehabilitation. You know, not to stress out the animals, but we also don't want them to become habituated to the sounds of our voices. So we're going to be super quiet, but don't worry, Mel's in the chat. Any question, please ask away. She's going to be popping lots of information in there for you. Hey Fiona, I see you. And then we'll be back in about 5 minutes, I think. So hopefully these guys come out. We're going to be extra slow and extra quiet with these guys because they do have that tendency, you know, if they feel threatened to, you know, spray their bums a bit. So we're going to be super quiet. We'll see you back in 5 minutes. We'll see how it goes, and questions in the chat for Mel. All right, here we go. And sometimes that happens in wildlife rehab. So obviously we can't force them to come out. They were displaying a bit of behavior that was, letting us know back off. Probably because they've never seen me before and I have this selfie stick. So anyway, that is really common, but we'll ask Brianne a little bit more about that. I'm going to flip back over. What a bummer, what a bummer. But we still saw them. I saw them anyway. I hope that our viewers saw a little bit about them. So why do you think they weren't coming out tonight?
So skunks, of course, are nocturnal species, so they do spend the majority of the day sleeping, and with our juveniles, they do rely heavily on sleep and reduced energy, so they can put most of their energy towards growing and developing. Again, with skunks being nocturnal, they are most active at dawn and dusk. So depending on the day, the skunks might be a little bit more active when we do go out to feed and might be a little bit more eager to come directly towards the food. But again, as they are wild species, we do let them pick and choose when they are able to eat, especially once they are consistently eating on their own.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think we saw how small and little they are, and they're adorable still. There are so many myths out there about skunks. I would love to dispel some of those tonight. Brianne, can you give us a few myths and break them for our viewers tonight?
Definitely. So the very first myth I'd like to address is that skunks can be relatively vicious and will spray at any given opportunity. So with our skunks, spraying is actually a last resort. That is their final defense mechanism, letting someone know that you're in my space, I'm feeling threatened, and I need you to know that I'm not okay with this. But before spraying, skunks give a variety of different behavioral indications that they need you to give them a little bit of space. So firstly, as you did see earlier, they will stomp their feet at you. They might even drag their front feet backwards and hop backwards a little bit, letting you know that they are feeling threatened and they need some space. If a skunk does feel cornered and they're finding that those behavioral indications are not being respected and they still feel that they're being threatened, then they might turn to spraying. Very last indicator before a skunk will spray, of course, is they will raise their tail way up above their head to make themselves look larger and intimidating, and to expose those glands so they can quickly turn their bum and spray if needed.
And so why wouldn't a skunk want to spray?
So as I said, spraying is a last resort. Once a skunk sprays, it does take up to 10 days for them to replenish that spray, which at that point, it puts them at higher risk for predators to come after them because they are no longer able to effectively spray to cause a predator to either get spray in their eyes and maybe be distracted and unable to have that skunk caught and eaten.
Awesome. So the first myth is that skunks will not just run up to you and spray you for no reason. That's crazy talk. All right. What's another myth? I think we were talking about something about rabies earlier.
Yeah, so it's a common misconception that if you see skunks out wandering about during the day, that they might be affected with rabies. While of course we do want to potentially report or talk to a wildlife biologist about any concerning behavior that might be indicative of rabies, a skunk being out and about during the day looking for food is not necessarily a cause for concern. If they're out and about, especially this time of year when they do have young with them, skunks will be scavenging for food as much as they possibly can because they do have higher caloric requirements. They need more food for those babies to develop, and the females need more food to produce that milk so the babies can feed as well. So definitely, if they're not able to get enough food overnight or during dusk and dawn, then you might see them wandering about looking for more food and scavenging on mice and bugs that might be out and about during the day.
So let's just recap. Skunks do not spray you willy-nilly. That will never happen. And number two, if you see a skunk out in the day, it does not mean it has rabies. Okay, so those are our two myths that we've dispelled for you tonight. All right, thanks, Brianne. Back to you. So having a skunk with us, baby skunks, how long do they generally stay with us in our care, and how long would they stay with their family in the wild?
So we do as much as we can to mimic their natural history. So with all of our patients, we try to do everything we can to get them out in the wild and mimic what their life would look like naturally, were they being raised by their mums. So with skunks, generally males will stay with their mums for 2 to 3 months before dispersing and going out on their own. Females might hang around a little bit longer before dispersing as well. So with the skunk kits we have in care currently, we generally look at releasing after about 3 months, once they're consistently eating on their own, displaying all those natural behaviors that we like to see, and have a healthy fear of people. That being said, because we are potentially releasing females a little bit earlier than when they would naturally disperse, we usually do release in groups. So they do have their siblings and those that they were raised with out there with them in the wild to help look for resources and as kind of that familiarity as well.
Fantastic. All right, so we have 42 in our care right now. Roughly, what do you think that costs us to just feed these guys? We know how much they love to eat until we send them back to the wild where they belong.
To feed the 42 skunks we have in care right now, for a period of 3 months, that would cost approximately $6,000.
$6,000? Why?
Yeah.
What do they eat?
So as omnivores, again, we really have to offer a well-balanced diet comprised of all sorts of different types of proteins. So that can be from mice and all sorts of insects to mimic that natural diet, to dog food and cat food that's high in protein, as well as all sorts of different protein sources like chicken or ground beef. And we'll also offer a ton of different vegetable and fruit sources to ensure that they're getting all the nutrients and minerals that they need in their balanced diet.
That's a lot of money. I'm just thinking we're going to go off the cuff now. This is a live event. Stuff happens. I'm thinking maybe they've come out now that the food's there. So should we just check one more time before we sign off?
Definitely. We can definitely peek in again and
All right.
see if they've started to wander out.
I'm going to follow you.
Okay.
And if they haven't, we'll come back out and we have a few more things to talk about.
Okay.
That one is still in there. Can't really see them. Okay. So that happens in wildlife rehab. We do have some videos on our TikTok of the skunks up close, so if you want to check that out, please do. So we just mentioned $6,000 for the 3 months that we keep them before we put them back in the wild. So this is your cue, perfect segue to me. This is why we need you to donate tonight. So any donations, again, in that dedicated donation link, it's gonna be down in the chat below, from when we started until 9 p.m. tonight, top 10, first 10 of $25 or more will be sent a special thank you gift in the mail. The top 3 donors of the whole month until the end of the baby shower will be sent an extra special thank you in the mail. Again, through that dedicated donation link in the chat below. I'm seeing it. Mel's popping it in right now. Thanks, Mel. Also, we have that 50-50 that is still running. You have 1 week left. So it ends next Wednesday at midnight or 11:59 p.m. So the more tickets we buy, or the more tickets you buy, the more a pot we get, and of course the more the winner gets. So please share with your family, share with your friends, buy your tickets. Don't forget. What else? Tonight, when the live Facebook is over, we are also doing a special call out, shout out, donation call out, I guess, product call out, I guess, for kitten and puppy wet food. This is to feed our skunks because they have such a large appetite. They love everything, and we're running low. So if you would like to donate some kitten or puppy wet food, all the information will be in that Facebook post. I think around 7:30 it's going live tonight, also on our Instagram and on our Twitter. So most of our socials, the information is in there. Donate, buy your raffle tickets. We only were gonna have 1 more week, but we have a surprise. We're extending for at least an extra week because we have some amazing babies in with us this year. We have a fawn that we want to show you and maybe a few more surprises. So right now we're scheduled for foxes next week. That could change. Who knows? But definitely we're going to be extending for a 5th week. So we're going to have 1 more week to reach our total fundraising goal, which is $30,000 this year. So I think that's it for me. Next week, same place, same time. Not sure who you're going to be seeing, but you're going to be seeing someone. Remember to donate via the dedicated donation link in the chat below. Get your 50/50 tickets. Please tell your family. Please tell your friends. Share away. Have I got everything, Brianne? Is there anything else?
I think that's everything, Becky.
All right, awesome. And remember, if you want to see some other videos of our skunk patients when they actually came out and ate, we have some on our TikTok. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you for week 4 next week. Same place, same time. See you later.